character certification letter that he has committed no crime, then he will go into the police college and come out parboiled, because they don't train. They parboil them, tell them how they are going to make money out of the job, tell them how you can extort money without anybody finding out, and all of those things, and he is out and begin now in full force to practice what he has already known. So we begin to ask ourselves, are these money going to their heads of department? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. There is no commissioner of police in Nigeria who will come out and tell you that he has not taken money out of the proceeds of this corrupt system, of this inhuman treatment that is being meted upon Biafrans. They are all benefiting from it. If you are a DPO and you are posted to a particular division where your men are doing this thing, the commissioner of police, as he is getting to know of the atrocities they are committing, he is also going to ask each and every one of them of returns. So it's a business. And this business, the goods and services being traded are Biafrans. These are their own area of making sure that they annihilate Biafrans. These are tasks given to them to make sure that Biafrans are being brought down. How will I make it clearer for us to understand? Biafrans need to understand that any state where a commissioner of police happens to be a Biafran, the GOC there will be a Fulani. And if the GOC is a Fulani and the commissioner of police happens to be a Biafran, the governor of that state must be dancing to the tune of the Fulani. So in whichever way, the Fulanis are in charge. And the project is to make sure that Biafrans are killed, are reduced to nothing, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, able DPO, able IG. I don't even know the big title to give you, because you have articulated your point in such a way that even a layman will understand. There is one question here. Is there a Biafran in the Sharia police? Is there a Biafran police officer in the Sharia police?
Well, the answer will be yes and no. Let me begin with the yes. If you are a Nigerian police officer, you are a Sharia police officer. Because if you are in the South,
okay,
and you arrest...
Okay, DPO, hold it there, please. We are on a hot seat, so please, I crave your indulgence. When I pause you, you do well to hold it, please. You just went to somewhere. You said yes and no. And then you said if you are a Nigerian police, you are automatically serving under the Sharia, because the law of the Nigerian government makes it that 95% of the law's practice is gotten from what the Sharia will implement. Now I am deviating to something else. The Ishba police that destroys the beverages and the alcohol produced in the South, and especially in Biafra land, which generates 95% of the revenues and incomes that pays their daily salaries. Is there any Biafran inside that Ishba police?
No. There is no Biafra amongst the Ishba police.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
There is no Biafra.
Thank you. Hold it there. Since there is no Biafran inside the Ishba police, thank you very much. So that means every policeman that is sent down south is not coming to act in cognizance with the narrative of the Biafran people, because it's under the supervision of the colonization agenda. So that makes it easy that when they come down south, when the order is given, Shoot at sight, they have to shoot. Kidnap, they have to kidnap. Maim, they have to maim. Pillage, they have to. Rape, they have to. Destroy, they have to. And then send them to where they will not see their generations again. They will do it. May I conclude, or may I opine that it is because they are not part and parcel of our region? They will not do anything that will be better to our own, because they have a different agenda and mandate that is sent to them all the way from their Oga Bata in Abuja.
You are right. You are right. Even orientationally, when police officers are being drafted to go down south, idea is God has blessed me and blessed my generation. That is the perception, that is the feeling, because they know from experience all those who went down south came back with cars, bagload of money, and never would be poor again. Because Biafra land is the land of milk and honey, where they come to liquidate the people, where it is possible to get a human kidney from a passerby, even when the police, your colleagues, gets to know that you have done something like this, you are still as free as a free citizen. So that's it. That's it. With them coming down south, it's like going to the enemy territory, and the pursuit is to conquer and to vanquish. A sad situation, but that is what Biafrans are experiencing on a daily basis.
So nobody will hold us or hold anything we do against us for standing for our self-defense, because it is constitutional. Is this self-defense also constitutional in the Nigerian constitution and also in the ethics and standards of the Nigerian police? Is it also there in the OAU charter? Is it also there in the UN charter? Which other charter is it also there that we don't know? Please help us to understand. If we stand to defend ourselves, if we are fighting against the government, or if we are doing the right thing. And if these same police have the right to be doing all these things to the indigenous people.
Well, I may not answer this question directly, but let me go the other side of it. As there is a right to self-defense, there is a right that we have against any form of torture, against any form of inhuman treatment. There is what is called Convention Against Torture. So supposing I don't even talk about right to self-defense as a global, as a universal, acceptable human right everywhere on earth, both the Islamic nations, both those who don't believe that there is a God and those who believe that there is God, everyone accept it, that I have a right to say no to what I think is not okay by me. I have a right to start running when someone is after my life. I have a right to be alive because I was born and found myself alive. It's just as simple as that, that nobody has right to take the life of another. There are different conventions, different organizations, different treaties that are made by different nations of the world, and all is gearing to safety of life. All is gearing to seeing the human life as more superior above every other thing that exists on this planet Earth. Nobody has right to take the life of another. Nobody has right to take any person's life except when the law excuses one to do such. And we are talking about a country that has no regard to laws, a country that kicks against its own law, especially when there is an interest. In Nigeria, there is no human rights. Even the activists who are there protesting, we are human rights activists, we are this and that, those laws are not being observed. Everything you might be asking me here today, let me tell you that each and every one of those laws that permits an individual to defend himself, that permit an individual to be alive no matter what, they are all there in the Police Act and regulations. They are all there in the laws and the available constitution, even this wicked constitution, which has no interest of a Biafran. There is still there a right to self-defense. Is the much I can say about it. There is still there a right to self-defense. So anybody kicking against it is actually kicking against what he actually knows.
Thank you, our head of police. There is a video we want you to go through and then give your submission and your analysis with your investigative intelligence. 247, please bring that video of one Nigeria police talking their blah 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 about the US convoy to the screen. Bring it to the Zoom. There are more questions coming. So
ask me to drop it in the description. I did.
Yeah, play it here in the Zoom. Share the screen in the Zoom. Because if I play it myself, it will not come out on the studio, it will not come out on the Zoom for everybody to see. So play it in the Zoom.
I shared the screen here now.
Yeah, share the screen in the Zoom. Okay, while we wait for you to share the screen, other comrades in the house have some questions to pose to you, because there are many other questions. Pastor Vam Vam Vam, you have some questions, you can bring them up.
I don't have any question. Other people might have.
Uzo, do you have questions?
Yes, thank you for allowing me to ask a question concerning the police equipment and other technology that has to go with it. Do we have like a vacuum or a plan to create a communication that will link from one region to another region, or are we going to operate the police force communication within the Biafra land, linked to the international world, like to the exile where other additional officers are, or for the moment, how are we going to run it? Is it going to be like local or exile? Thank you. I don't know if you understand. I asked.
I want to get you perfectly. Are you saying, do we already have them, or do we have plans to bring in such technologies that will be an upper hand against what is obtainable in the Nigerian police? Is that your question?
Obtainable for Nigeria police, because whatever that is obtainable for Nigeria police cannot, yield fruits, because it's a zoo. I'm not saying that we're gonna adapt the idea of police structure in the zoo, But for our own to be independent, are we gonna like acquire the kind of sophisticated technology in the police force to communicate to every officer? Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your question. Already on ground, we have surveillance equipment, which of course is helping us to gather informations and investigate matters. And we intend to do much better than what we have now, much better than what is obtainable within the continent of Africa, because we are bringing in a police system whereby you may live in Biafra land for 10 years without being stopped by a police officer on the road. You drive your car, you go in and come out without being stopped or searched. We are bringing in a system whereby we are not going to run the kind of police that arrest people, interrogate them before investigating a matter because of the kind of have been investigated. It is only for you to drop your statement after going through evidences that will present before you. Then, if you are to go in for it, you will happily go in for it because you know there is nothing you can deny. That is the level of technology we are bringing in. Another is that we are coming in with such a communication system that a policeman on duty doesn't need to chase an assailant, commit a crime here, and start running. You are going to meet someone who will gently stop you and do the needful. So, by the grace of God and with the help of our Prime Minister, who is a visionary person, and our Supreme Leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Biafra Police is going to restore the lost hope in policing. Thank you.
Thank you. Uzo, do you have another question? Battle Cry, do you have another question?
Well, I'm satisfied. Thank you very much, Max.
Yeah. Let me come up with a question now. My officer of the law of Biafra land, I appreciate you. You've been very, very depth with your response, and I want to believe it is not just by chance. It happens to be something that you are, completely, inundated with, and Biafrans are happy to have people like you. But there's one thing that I really want you to bring to our people today, because it is said that police, your friends, is your friend. It's a language that is sick in some corners in Nigeria, and we know that it is not true. People have already had the mentality of not trusting the police, and then people are scared of the police. People cannot even, depend on the police. So how will you begin? How will you begin this? How will you begin this new system that we are getting into in Biafra land to inundate our people with the confidence, to build confidence around the police? Because I know, as I said, a road was not built in a day. So how will you begin this process? Because it will need a long way of detoxing our people of this very demonic, knowledge that they've always had over time of not trusting the police. So how will you be able to build this confidence in our people so that this particular awareness, will come to them the way we are enjoying the security system and the security personnel over here in Europe and around the world? I don't know if I made my point. I tried to elaborate so you understand what I'm trying to, say.
All right, thank you for that wonderful question. I can begin by saying that this live interactive medium is one of the ways we are going to restore our people's confidence on the police. And secondly, we are not going to allow a total stranger to police the locals. Like I said earlier, we are bringing in community policing. And the organogram and the policing system we already have on ground will operate in 3 levels. We will have what we call the federal police, and we'll have what we call the provincial or state police. And lastly, we'll have what we call the county or the local police. Let me start from the lists, being the list in arrangement, not in proficiency or hierarchy. In arrangement, the county police shall be a police that will do the policing duty